We've got a game day destination for week one, and it's Columbus, Ohio. Jay Stevens, Locked On Buckeyes, is here. Texas, Ohio State, the semifinal rematch that, look, it couldn't have possibly been overhyped on paper or circled by more people until it was added, or it got the added boost of this will be Lee Corso's final college game day. Jay, I'm going to need an emotional snow day, week one of college football, when I wake up and watch that show, and it will be the last I've watched that show since I was 5 years old, and I have rarely missed a show, and it will be the last time that Lee Corso is a part of it. We might talk about the game in this segment, depends on how sentimental we get, but my first reaction when I saw that Texas Ohio State is game day for week one, no surprise, certainly. It's one of the biggest non-conference games in any week of college football this year. It's going to be spectacular. I would bet, if our friends at FanDuel would let me, my life savings that he is going to pick the Buckeyes to win that game. There is no way he is going to go against Brutus, his first love as a mascot, where it all began, where it all ends. There's no way he picks Texas in that game, right? There is no way.
There's no way at all. Not at all. And it wouldn't shock me if Kirk Herbstreit's wife, who actually helped with the first headgear pick and getting Brutus's head to the desk the very first time, it wouldn't shock me if she made an appearance. And I don't know if I've ever seen his wife on TV on game day at all. I've seen his kids. I've seen his dogs. His wife is really behind the scenes, but she is as instrumental as anybody to making sure the headgear happened the first time, and then a tradition was started. Man, it's going to be so weird, very weird to even know that Big Noon's going to be there and nobody cares. Like, nobody at all is going to even be watching Fox for the pregame. It's ESPN, 9 to 12 Eastern, riding into that kickoff of that game. Yeah, you're going to flip to Fox once game day goes off the air, but everybody cares about Lee Corso. It's one of those weird things that I said on today's episode, on Wednesday's episode of Locked On Buckeyes. There are a lot of guys in sports where you know that they are an analyst. There are a lot of kids right now inside the NBA. They hear about Shaq being a player. They didn't watch him play. They might even think Kenny Smith was only an analyst, not that he has two NBA championships. Well, with Lee Corso, when I first started watching Game Day, I had no idea he used to be a coach. None whatsoever. I said, oh, you're on TV talking about sports and you're entertaining me. Great, that's all I care about. Then I start digging and going to the Wikipedia. You coached at Indiana? You were a coach for how long? You did what? You did what at this? I had no idea, because that's how important he was, and that's how connected we got to him being the entertainer. We all waited the headgear pick. Now, I don't know. I don't still do this. I used to watch the pick selection at the end of every single show, and I was just waiting and waiting. I only really cared about Kirk Herbstreit's pick and Lee Corso's pick. But Lee Corso being the guy making that pick and making it as entertaining as he needed it to be, and even at James Madison dressing up like he was from the 1700s, we love that stuff. That's what makes sports fun. And he made college football fun. And I think he's a big reason why college sports is as big as it is today.
I think when you nailed it right on the head, because when I talk about college football being different than the NFL and things that separate it, game day is something that comes to mind.
Yeah.
What's the game? There's no game day equivalent in the NFL. Turn on NFL pregame shows. It's 5 guys in a studio. Hey, they know what they're talking about. They're, knowledgeable about the game. It's solid discussion. You don't have tens of thousands of students or however many behind you that were up at the crack of dawn just for the chance to put their face on camera for 2 seconds, if that want to go crazy when an analyst picks their team and want to boo him off the stage when he picks against them. Like, there's nothing like that. For me, Jay, Corso's headgear pick has always been a significant marker in sports. I can't start my college football Saturday until I've seen the headgear pick. When I was growing up, and I'd watch it every Saturday. Some Saturdays, I slept in a little later. And I grew up on the West Coast, so games started at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so there were times where, I'm not watching much game day today because I slept till 8:45. but I never wanted to sleep past 9. And in the rare occasions when I did, I couldn't miss the headgear pick. I had to see it. Like, this is something that everyone talks about, and it is an entertainment thing. I think Corso, this is not an exact quote, but he said, we're entertainers and football is just a vessel. Football is just a way for us to do that. And I think it is important to have those figures in sports. The late Bill Walton was this for college basketball. Dick Vitale is that for college basketball. And Lee Corso is that guy for college football more than anybody else. And I know a lot of people like Pat McAfee. I'm not his biggest fan. I get the appeal. It's just not my style. But Lee Corso is, because Lee Corso feels to me true love of the game, college football, and there won't be anything like that. I don't think anyone should try to pick up the headgear mantle. I think that was Coach's thing, and it should just remain Coach's thing forever until the end of time. And I do wonder, Jay, you'll of course be able to bet with our friends at FanDuel about who wins the game. But will there be a bet on who Corso picks for the headgear? Ohio State's got to be minus 7,000 for the Corso headgear pick. It's got to be. It's got to be. Like, he's always spoken very lovingly about certain mascots, and Brutus was his first. And that makes it special. And you're going to Columbus, and Ohio State's playing, and yeah, like we said, I can't see him picking against. But I did want to get to the game just a little bit. I think this is a worthy destination for College GameDay to go. But right now, Jay, in the middle of June, how do you feel about this game? Because on paper, I like Texas more than Ohio State.
It's weird, Spencer. You and I agree on some things. We agree on some other things. We're on the same page here. I don't have a good feeling that a first-time starting quarterback for Ohio State, even though you're at home and both pregame, the premier pregame shows will be there, will be able to play well enough to win the game. Now, there are guys like Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith that can overcome and help overcome some of the issues that a first-time starting quarterback is going to have. And I think it's going to be Julian Sand. Also, side note, I don't know if you saw this. Ohio State posted a screenshot from EA's College Football 26. And it was Julian Sand next to Ryan Day, but Ryan Day has not announced Sand as a starting quarterback. And the school never came out and said, this is our subtle way of saying Sand's a starting quarterback. But to me, when I saw that, it already all basically confirmed what I already thought, that Sand's a starting quarterback.
I did not see that. It sounds like the people at EA need a stern talking to, Jay. I think that's what our takeaway should be.
Maybe. It came from Ohio State's legit football Instagram account, so maybe EA gave it to them, and they said, great, cool. I have my nerves about a first-year quarterback, starting quarterback, going up against Texas. And what is a revenge game? Even though it's on your home turf, ours just played more football. Texas's defense is eager and hungry to get back on the field you can't take away a loss from a year ago, but you will feel really good if you beat the team that knocked you out of the playoff last year the first time you're back on the field. I do think the Buckeyes in the trenches are going to be better than advertised. Picking up guys like Bo Atkinson and Logan George on the defensive line is going to be very, very big. O-line will be better early than most offensive lines are early in the year. It's the quarterback, man. It's the quarterback. I remember C.J. Stroud on the road against Minnesota, almost lost a game. If Mo Ibrahim didn't get hurt, I guarantee that Ohio State would have lost that game. Now, it's a little bit different. You're at home, but I still got my nerves about a first-time starting quarterback going up against that Texas team, who is probably, to me, going to be a top 3 team in the country when the first AP poll comes out. Just a little bit nervous about it right now. My thoughts can change in the preseason, but I don't think they're going to.
Jay Stevens, Locked On Buckeyes, great as always. Our thoughts will never change on the greatness of Lee Corso or the fact that he is going to pick Brutus, and it will start the way it ended. It will be wonderfully poetic, and Coach can go enjoy his retirement full time. Appreciate everybody listening. I will see you next time, and until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.